Don't just go with us, but
grow with us.
Yes,
Let's
grow
get
with
it.
us.
Let's
Y'all
get
have
it.
a blessed rest of your day. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care, y'all. We love y'all. Peace.
Love ya.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we're all about uncovering the mindset journey. I'm Bro Rhy, that's Ray. I'm Ray, or that's Ray, and I'm Rhy. Either way you slice the pie. Welcome to episode number 27, y'all. Yes, 27. We are 27 weeks in, and we are just going and flowing like none before. And yes, and for those of you catching us on the live, we appreciate you. For those of you who are catching us on the replay, know that we do go live on YouTube and Facebook, but we do take down the post at midnight Eastern Standard Time, y'all. So 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So catch them live, but if not, you will definitely get it when the podcast is released. Yes, when the podcast released. It's definitely been a while. And if this is your very first time with us, just know that we are documenting our 52-week coaching program under the leadership of ETA, Dr. Eric Thomas and Associates, ET, the hip hop preacher. But yeah, what's going on? What's up, Ray? How you been, bro? Looking fresh and crispy out there with the new fade, bro.
Yeah, we had a little delay, so Ray can look clean. We got some stuff coming up. Can't be looking bummy, you know? Can't be looking bummy. There's some appearances that need to be maintained, for multiple reasons. But man, it's good, man. I miss you. You've been out and about, so I miss you, man. Missing this, and I know we've got some people that've been missing us as well. But other than that, man, just keeping the focus. October, we are in October of 2023.
Q4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How quickly it goes, man. I mean, I'm glad it's not hot anymore, though. I can say that. Come out in the morning just feeling fresh, feeling refreshed instead of before I even get to my truck, man, I'm sweating. So that's always a good thing, man. Just a different energy until it starts getting cold, and then I'll be complaining about that. But that's it, man. How you doing, brother? What's up?
Oh,
how are you?
Bro,
How's life?
You know what's crazy is that as I think about where we are now, and even in our recording schedule, so all of y'all who rock with us, just thank you for your grace. Thank you for your patience. The episodes are still coming out on Tuesdays, and we're still working on that. We got a couple other things in the works that's going to get us more exposure on the podcast. But here's something that we're learning in real time that we want to share with you. As you do the work and as you get the results, know that your schedule is not going to always look the same. And see, the thing that Ray's talking about, like, I miss Ray all day, every day. Like, we used to be like available on the daily, pockets of hours throughout the day in the very beginning of the mastermind. So setting up our time and recording, it really wasn't a huge problem when we started scheduling. But then he started growing in his business. I started growing in my business. We started executing on all of the principles and the things that we were learning in this mastermind. And it has actually caused our schedule to get quite full. Like, just to give y'all some perspective. All right. So Q4, we just started. So we ended Q3 and we did an evaluation. Bruh, my goal, I did an audit. My goal in Q3 was to get 30. And I said, let me double what I did in Q2. 30 speaking opportunities. All right, so that could be virtual, that could be in person, it could be a one shot, it could be full contracts, but it had to be 30 speaking opportunities, different days, different audiences, whatever that could be like. And it had to be booked in Q3. Didn't all have to happen in Q3, but it just had to be booked and confirmed in Q3. Bro, you know what number? I was doing the math today when I was filling out the 90. Bro, you know what the number is?
The 90s.
I wish it was 90. No, bro, 45.
And how many did you say you wanted?
30 was the goal. Double Q2. So let's just look at this now, y'all. So Q2 was 15 booked gigs. Q3 was like, let's book 30 speaking opportunities, but I booked 45. And again, granted, these are for that are going to happen in Q4. They're going to happen even in Q1 of next year. But I have contracts with 4 or 5 gigs. I have one contract with 9 speaking opportunities every month that was booked in Q3. And so all that to say is that, yo, if you continue to do the work and you continue to just stay clear and focused on your target, your schedule's not going to be the same as it was, especially for those who are, in the industries of speaking or traveling, facilitating, things like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been learning. So Ray and I have really been like, hey, what's your schedule? What's your schedule? Like, we're looking 1-2 weeks ahead of time, just because of how the opportunities are starting to really show up. So yeah, it's crazy, bro. Let's take some shout outs out real quick. What's going on? Melissa in the building. If y'all don't know about it, go for the win. All right, just go check out her show. Legit. It's all, man, I'll tell you what. If you are a recovering procrastinator.
Procrastinator.
All right, first thing I want to remind you that the nugget I took from episode number 1, you are a luxury item. All right, you are a luxury item. I'm going to leave it at that, but you got to go check out her YouTube channel, y'all. Let's see who else. Shout out to our fam, Pennsylvania. What's going on? Mike and Kathy Haney, Absolute Comfort and Son LLC. Come on. You're going to hear more and more about that real soon, especially on this podcast. So just stay tuned for what's to come, because we got some big plans for Big Mike and the whole crew up there in PA. All right, let's see. Who else? I can't see who this is, but again, if you are rocking with us on
That's
the
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. What's going on, Daniel? What's up? Let me know if you're able to share and give access to Ecamm so we can show your amazing profile picture and your name. And yes, Getting the Win show. Check it out. Catch it while it's on the ground floor. It's only going to get better as it goes. Yes, definitely drop a link in the chat. So yeah, Ray, like I said, bro, I miss you. It's been a minute, but I know the one thing that I appreciate about our relationship is that we are definitely moving the needles, and we got some announcements that are upcoming for this month that I'm super excited for. But yeah, man, just speak to that. How's that been for you?
Man, it's it definitely brings things into perspective. It's like we talked about a few episodes. If you remember what you pray for, prepare for what you pray for, and expect what you prayed for. And part of that expectation is the active movement of doing certain things. And then also understanding that it's not going to look like what you want it to look like. And I mean, just like you said, I mean, you going through that piece, man, actively like making the adjustments where we need to make the adjustments. And I mentioned it on, this past call, like I intentionally took a minute to miss the first half of class so that I can be on live, because I did have I was missing people, just missing the energy. So I took the intention of making sure that I was actually at school, at church, at class. But I sat out in the lobby and got the first half of it, and just really stepping back and slowing down of what I'd done towards the back end of the year. But not so that I can slow down and catch my breath, but slow down so I can be more structured and intentional about what we're doing moving forward. But that doesn't mean even me, from the act of me being a pilot, slowing down as far as like actively being out there trying to get things done and get them done right now. I'm still doing the thing of planting seeds very aggressively, making the adjustments very aggressive. So even when we say slow down, that means something differently, but slow down doesn't mean stop. And we talked about a few episodes back, I don't remember what it was, but maintain a pace. So even me being in the Christian ministries study for the next 3 years, I mean, that's going to lead to something, planting seeds. That wasn't the intention initially, but that's where God's having me go. And then even us adjusting in the podcast of what we're doing. Shout out to Mike again, bro. Thank you. Absolute Comfort Solutions LLC. Let's go. But us moving into what we have coming up in the future in the next couple of weeks. And then next year, all of it is planting, but it's more work. It's more intentionality what we're trying to do. Have the opportunity. I'm going to be working with an Army recruiting company this Friday to go over the assessment, really kind of tagging in like, being in your authentic self. And then we're going to bring in the assessment to discuss that. But as soon as I'm done with that, man, heading to the airport so I can fly to Atlanta. We're going to be in Atlanta, going to see the family, going to connect. Next week, heading to Michigan for the Extreme Execution Biz Builder, but also connecting with Carl and what we got going on with him. Going to be home for about a week, but That week that I'm home is when we're doing our thing. And then the following week is heading out to Dominican Republic to for the Make Real Estate Real Family Reunion at the event that I will be speaking and presenting at. So a
Let's
lot of things
go.
on the back end that I'm trying to get structured and built, because last year was just me up there you do that reflection, that 365 reflection. Where was I at last year during this time? Last year, physically, I was about 30 pounds heavier. Let's just go ahead and highlight that. Boy, looking a little bit clean now, a little bit lighter.
He's bringing sexy back.
I mean, it never left. It never left. But, we, but no, last year was more of just the spotlight and kind of highlighting certain things of my testimony and the journey. This year, it's more intentional with the message that I'm bringing, but also having, at the end of the presentation, there's an opportunity to work with me.
Yep.
But we have to get that structure down. So I'm working with somebody to get that back end structure, the funnel, landing page, all these other things are going to go. So when I'm there presenting in front of 600 people, if 6 of them want to work with me, I say 6, that's just 1%. Want to work with me, they know how. Last year it was just, hey, how can I contact you? And there's really no other thing other than they want to contact me so they can pick my brain. This year, we've got intentionality behind how you can talk to me. So there's just a lot of those things. So even with me slowing down, it's built on the intention of a pace must be maintained. Let me catch my breath, but let me look around, let me stretch, let me get the right nutrients, let me get the things that are going to sustain me for this next 365. We're not stopping. We're just laying the foundation. We're laying the platform. We're laying all the groundwork that needs to be done so that when we go into this 2024 Kobe year, we're going to have that Mamba mentality, because everything's already been done. Everything's already been laid. The foundation, hold on. The foundation has been laid by number 23.
Come on.
Foundation was laid by good old, hey, I want to be like Mike, but now we're going to run into Mamba mentality. So let's go.
24.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, because I'll be on the airports and I'll look for all the Kobe, all the different Kobe movies, documentaries, and I watched the one where he scored 81 in the game, and they got like the players and the coaches from Toronto Raptors, and just kind of their take while he was going for 81, because they were up by 20 at the half. Kobe said 0 words in the locker room at halftime. 0 came out, and he went for 81. Like he was like, it was like something they never experienced. But no, I think I want to just share this, y'all. So for those of you, take this away. Number 1, get your systems in place, y'all. Get your systems in place. I've heard it time and time again, especially for those who are speakers. Rookies will make money on stage. Veterans will make money off stage. Catch that. Rookies will make money on the stage, but the veterans will make money off the stage, meaning when we get off the stage, there is a way for the audience or whoever is participating, or all the viewers, to stay connected, to get into your ecosystem, to get onto your email list, your text list, so that they're always in the know of what you have coming up. New products, old products. So you have upsells, you have downsells, you have the free, whatever it might be. And I think that's where I struggled, because I've been speaking since 2015 when I left my hospital job. And the one other piece that, I want to add into that. So systems, number 1, having a way for people to stay with you and connected to you after you're done, to see what else you provide, what other services, whatever value, additional value you bring. And number 2, documentation. Document as much as possible. E was talking the other day about how he's now taking all his documented videos and audios and books, and he's repurposing all of this stuff to develop courses, to develop more content, to curate it. And so one thing that I look back at my whole speaking career, bro, like hundreds, if not thousands of speaking opportunities and engagements, 0 documentation in terms of like being mic'd up, having quality video shot. Never had I had someone with one DSLR just catching some of my clips or be getting mic'd up. Nothing. And what I learned from Trap at the last Mastermind in Atlanta, he had his Rode wireless go on him, and then he was just telling me he just keeps it on the whole time. He just records. He just records the whole time he's in his conversations, because even if it's not the people that he's, talking to that might have gems, something that in his natural conversation, he can use it as B-roll. So y'all, whatever you do, it doesn't matter whether whatever your industry is, document it, document it, document it, and then put that in a system. Put that in a system, curate it in a system, so that when people want your product or your service, like, you have an ecosystem. All right, an ecosystem. So for me, going into Q4, now that I've had all these opportunities and I'm still having these opportunities to speak, I'm really focusing on building that CRM, building the ecosystem, building the nurturing system, the value ladder, all of those things, so that every single opportunity or person that I get connected with are going to know that I still have other things to offer, even though I may not be live in person.
Yeah. 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 And you said it right there, man. Ecosystem. And, we've talked about it several times as far as, if you're a solopreneur, the intent should always be to end up growing a team. And even, this is more speaking to, everybody listening, a lot of times when we're talking like directly to us, either of yesterday, last month, last year, or even 15 minutes ago, of the idea that you don't want to do it, that you don't really want to have a bunch of people around, that you don't really want that responsibility. But if you're having any intent of growing and scaling, the ecosystem is not just you. There's multiple things in the environment that is needed for you to grow, for that ecosystem to grow, for things to grow. And you only grow as big as the environment that you're in. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Whatever ism you want to apply to yourself in that aspect, the intent is always to grow. The intent is always to stretch. So at the end of this, we say, don't just go with us, grow with us. It's not just a slogan like, it's real. It's we should all be growing. We don't have to be growing in the same direction and in the same rate. I mean, you remember when we was kids, man, someone got that. I'm one of those dudes. I got that growth spurt early. I thought I was going to be like 6'5". I was this tall when I was 13, and then it stopped. But, we don't have to be looking at how quickly someone else is growing, as long as we have the intent to grow, as long as our schedule shows that we have the plan to grow, as long as we're in a community that shows that we are looking to grow. That is your ecosystem. And if your ecosystem is malnourished, you will be too. If there's nothing to consume that's going to have you grow, you're going to starve to death in your ecosystem. So take a look around. You're not stuck where you were, I don't even want to say planted, where you were placed. You can grow, but it's a decision to do that. And you have to make those decisions, those uncomfortable decisions. And I say that piece right there because we joined this mastermind, Ryan, February, March of this year?
Yeah, we joined in February, but I believe like official start was March.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and don't get me wrong, like coming into this, I was like, I just know what I got for free and the stuff that I kind of paid for. I say kind of because it's probably valued much, much higher. But doing this, I know that something's going to come from it. But also being around being around everybody that's going to be here, being, Rhy, us being able to communicate and connect just on a much deeper level and on a consistent level. When this church leadership thing came up, bro, and they were like, it's going to be Monday nights. Man, I was conflicted. Like seriously, I was conflicted. And I was like, but Monday nights is, that's coaching call night. Like that's when I'm on. But the intent, and I'm not saying I've outgrown that ecosystem at all, but the place that I am going and growing is on a much deeper spiritual level than I was anticipating. And now I'm studying the word.
Come on.
Not just because I want to, because now it is part of my schedule.
Come on.
To study the word.
Love it.
So it's put me in a different place, in a different space, but now I can connect with people that may be in the group that are like, I'm struggling with the spiritual side. I can add some applicable steps to do if you want to grow and there's something that you need more than just you. You need some faith, you need some belief, you need some growth. But I had to look and I had to be like, yo, I paid a ton of money for this. Two, the biggest part of it, bro, is showing up. And three, am I doing too much? Like those things all start to come together. But as this is going, man, it continues like, okay, so now we're doing certain things within this where I have to have internship time. You know, it increases every year. It's a 3-year commitment. But the opportunity is there now. My internship time is going to be doing some mental performance work for the church, which is, bro, Romans 12:2, be not conformed to the ways of the world, but the renewing of your mind. And that is the foundation of why the church even decided to start their church leadership college. The principle is Romans 12:2. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this has to happen. This has to happen. But my ecosystem didn't change. It just expanded.
Yeah.
But in order for it to expand, man, we got to have that endurance because there's a lot more traveling. There's a lot more things to handle. There's a lot more things to manage. But, yo, this will not fail because the only choice is to, what did he say? Hey, the only choice in the fourth quarter is to win.
That's it.
That's the only choice.
That's it. And yeah, no, I want to definitely, just, tip my hat off to you for number one, making that decision. And that's it, right? We always talk about start with making a decision. And the more decisions you make, the more clarity you're going to have. All right. The more decisions you make, the more clarity you're going to have. The person with the least clarity is the one that's most undecisive. The most undecisive person is the one that's going to lack the most clarity. But as you continue to make decisions and you continue to have more clarity, mind, body, and spirit, you see how God wills it and how he provides. Right? When I look at what we're doing, like let's just zoom out for a minute. Everything that we're doing is not for us. Bro, all the traveling, all of the for me, like lately, all the flights that I've been on, all the traveling I've been doing, all the driving, like people don't want this, y'all. Y'all don't want this. Like it's beautiful because of the service that I provide and it fulfills, the calling that I know I'm called to, but it's long nights, it's long days, it's traveling on a solo away from my loved ones where my heart is at. But, again, these are decisions we made together. But I think something that, and even with all the moves you're making, this ain't for us. Like, it's not for us. And that's what we learned from the mastermind. I love it. What the whole point of the mastermind was to help you become a solid business and not lose your faith, not lose your relationships, and continue to grow as a person. That's the one thing I loved about what they were talking about the mastermind last week. Tyrus is like, that is the goal for the UOU mastermind. So you can be successful in business and not have to lose your relationships, not have to lose your faith, not have to, lose yourself as a person in growth. That's why there's the pillars. And when I look at what we're doing, it's like, yo, we're all around, not because we're trying to say, hey, we're here, like we were out. Nah, but it's like, who can we serve now? Who can we serve today? How can we serve? How can we be of service? But at the same time, just like he always mentions, like ministry mindset, right, versus business mindset. And he's showing us how to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves as well and not being stuck in the ministry mindset, but yet check to check or worse. And I think that's something that we all got to really consider when we're moving is like, yo, we're doing this not for us, like individually or personally, but we're like taking the gift that we've been given and taking it out into the world. So I think that, the way you're moving, and I love it because you're starting your college leadership, church leadership this semester. I'm finishing my theology degree this semester. So it's just, it's just something that's deeper than us. And even these educations and degrees we're getting, it's not for us. Like, yes, there's that we gain from it in a spiritual sense, but just to give it all back. Right? One of my favorite sayings that I always tell young people, to prove to God that you got it is to give it all back.
You got to give it.
To prove to God that you got it is to give it all back. Like die empty, man. So yeah, now it's crazy. So Q4, I'm telling you, it's crazy right now. I could feel the heat. I could feel the heat. You just talked about October getting cool. Yeah, temperature wise outside is cool,
Oh
but
yeah,
for
yeah,
those
it's
in the
fresh.
mastermind, the temperature is like a pressure cooker right now. It is
Yeah,
like a pressure cooker right now.
yeah, yeah. Nah, man, and it's you know what, and all that, and I love that they shared. I don't, bro. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know if they've ever shared that. You know, Mike, you can drop it, Melissa, you can drop it if they have. I don't know if they've ever directly shared that that was the goal of the mastermind. Did
I
they?
don't think so. No.
Bro, I was like, I felt I was like, hey, y'all just showing out now that y'all shared a mission statement or a vision statement with us. But you know that it just it hit deep just because there's a lot of things that come with that, and it's what the reason why you can't lose yourself in any of those areas. And this applies to anything that you're doing. You know, relationship. I think a lot of times this parents, but mostly moms, that they end up losing themselves with the relationship between them as a parent and their child. And they lose everything else. They don't know who they are as an individual. They don't have any personal goals. You know, even the spiritual side may have faltered or maybe grown a little bit. Or if you're, on the business side and you're committed to the business, or if you're whatever it is, like even, ministry work, but you're so committed to the word that you're not able to bless other people because you want to be this humble, broke Christian or whatever your faith is. Like the idea and the concept of you mentioned several times is like, the rhythm of life, the areas you need to find rhythm in and having the right beat with all the things that make sense. And man, I heard this, I think it was yesterday. And it's so important that when we're doing these things, when we're going through personal development, when we're growing a business, that we don't try to force it on somebody else. Whether you're in that faith area, whether you're in that fitness area, whether financial, whatever it is, that you're not trying to force it on someone else because it's new and exciting to you. Like you need to find your rhythm before you can start bringing someone else along, because then you both just missing the beat together. But not only
Yep.
that, you're trying to drag someone along that hasn't truly made the decision in their heart to commit to that effort. And instead of trying to force them to come along, what you need to be doing is continuing to grow, focus on yourself, not being selfish, but growing yourself, developing yourself in all aspects that you possibly can. That way, when they're ready, you're the right person to come to.
That's it.
Instead of trying to bring them along early and force them into it because you're super excited about it. But now neither one of you has clarity and both of you just confused. They're confused because you brought them along with something you're confused in. And now you don't have clarity. But continue to grow yourself. That way when the moment comes on, because they're going to see it. They're going to see your demonstration. They're going to see your light change. They're going to see the way you move change, the way you speak change. And when that happens, now they're like, yo, right, hey, do you have a moment to talk? And when that happens, bam, let's go.
Boom. Yeah, no, that's the real talk. And it goes back to capacity, y'all. Like what Ray is talking about is what is number one, blind leading the blind. Like we learned it from Anthony Flynn. Please don't onboard when you're not ready to onboard. And he was like, don't scale your weaknesses. People want to move fast, and he was like, if you scale your weaknesses because you're not ready, you don't have the capacity. We got to be careful for that because our excitement is going to want to draw people in. But then if we don't have anything set up, no systems, no format, no processes, no SOPs from a business perspective, it's not going to go far. And even in relationships and friendships, like if there is no intentionality on why we're spending time together or not, then those relationships also are going to kind of be what I call, like I said back in the day, some flatliners. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be, might feel cool for the moment. And as a high flight attendant, that was me all day back in the days, which is, a perfect segue because I wanted to really talk about what you and I talked about with Rob also was about them day twos.
Yeah.
Day two. Shout out to the day twos, y'all. Everyone here in this on the podcast, everyone in the mastermind that we've connected with, and all the different communities that I've started to just most recently connect with, and I'm actually doing ministry work with, or just doing business with. Y'all are day twos. And I came across this video. I actually reposted on a bunch of our platforms, and it was about valuing the day twos just as much as the day ones. and differentiating. Like the day ones came from that place of survival. We grew up together. We were all we knew. We figured it out. But then as soon as we made our moves and we maybe moved away or found a different career, and then we started being more intentional with day twos. Because what is it, what a lot of the stuff from what I used to hear was like, from day ones, not necessarily my day ones, but just generally speaking, people would be like, bruh, you changed, man. You too good now. You can't hang out. Don't forget where you came from. Stay rooted. All those things. And I'm not saying that it's not true or fair, like that's how they feel. But for people who are expanding their ecosystem, for people who are growing more capacity so that they can take in more to be able to serve more, like we gotta get out of that mindset of feeling guilty or bad. Because I think that was where the conversation came up. Because a lot of people, will feel bad for leaving their day ones. But it's like, but are you really leaving them? Because if, for me, my day ones, and you could speak to this, Ray, but my day ones are the ones who I'll not see them for months, if sometimes years, and we pick up right where we left off. With no like explanations, with no trying to like, apologies. It's just like, hey, what are you doing? Like every time I go to California, I got my handful of day ones where we'll pick up where we're like, where do you want to eat? Let's go. Let's eat. We eat, go out, chill, kick it, like, and there isn't like a guilt trip. Cause there will be times where I'll be like, man, bro, you don't ever call. And I'll be like, bruh, the phone works two ways. You know what I'm saying? You don't call me either, right? Like I used to, think about stuff like that. It used to be heavy on my heart as a flight attendant. But I've learned like through that video, it's like, no, day twos are your intentional people because you have more clarity. Now, of course, we've seen a lot of situations where people leave everything behind and they just go like a whole different direction. They could take a hard left and live a life that's just like off the hook, off the chain. But I mean, in our communities, and I think what the video I saw was more of like, nah, these are the people you want to grow with. These are the mutual relationships that you want to have. And I want to take it a step further and tell me what you think about this. And then for me, the idea would be like, and then putting your day twos and day ones all together, and then we just become fam all day.
Yeah. Yeah. The one I just want to say that I don't think I've ever had that on my heart, heavy on my heart to because the phone works two ways. You'll never catch me be like, hey, you never call me. You'll never catch me saying that, because it's probably mutual. I probably also did not call you, and that's just that's my GC being the 10 that it is, that I got no feelings about if you don't call me for 6 months and you call, be like, hey, what's up? What we doing? I got no issues. But man, I mean, in doing that, man, and even that, like, again, you have to continue to be the right person to bring those two communities together. Because typically your day ones, your day twos may not know anything about, but you got to make sure you got to be able to assess and evaluate. Okay, and it's not, you're not even worried about your day twos. You're worried about your day ones in that scenario. Can my day ones handle the authenticity of my day twos? Because all of us, typically your day twos, we are going to be our authentic self. Like we're comfortable in that space. There's no front. This is what we do. This is what we need help with. This is what I can help you with. Whatever it is, how can I serve you? Because I've got nothing to get. I've got nothing tangible to offer you right now. How can I serve you? And we're like, yo, dope. It's mutualism. It's not equal giving. It's equal sacrifice. Versus the day ones is, I mean, yeah, you really mess with this dude. This dude corny, like, and it's like
are you sure? Is he cool? Like, or is she cool? Right? Like, yeah. Or the other part of that, right? I think sometimes what happens is like if a day two comes in and then like there's generosity wars and it ain't like that with your day ones. You might have day ones that might be like, oh, that dude or that girl, she's trying to, show off. She's
trying to show out.
But it's like when you're with a community where that's what y'all do and that's what you've been doing and now you're a part of it, right? I think that's where like, oh, what the heck? Hold on, y'all. We got a national.
Hey, everybody's phone's about to go off right now, okay?
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Bam. Look at me. Don't call me a psychic.
Look at that. See?
Okay.
Y'all, we live. That's how you know we live. We doing a little national alert. But yeah, no, and Mike, I think that's something that we all got to be mindful of. Yeah, if y'all
Mike's phone
phone
go
went
off. Did
off,
Dan's phone go? Hey, everybody's phone went off.
you know what I'm saying? So,
That's like
but
the
I think
one
you're
article
right.
I
Be
read this
being
year.
mindful, being mindful of how you want to do that. But that's why I said like over time. For me, I'm in that space of like, yo, and I think for a lot of the day ones, the day one mindset is like they know you differently. Feel me? And differently than your day twos, which is understandable because y'all probably have different experiences. But then I also look at it like you said though, for a real day one, and they see you elevating and growing. Like for me, when I see that happening with my boys or my my folks, my family, I'm like, I want to meet the people that's helping my bro or my sis elevate. And I
Yeah.
want to say thank you. Like for me, that's where I'm at. With anybody I grew up with, and I see them, doing positive things in the community, and they're living up to the potential or moving past potential, right? That they have. And it's like, yo,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me shake that person's hand. Let me meet that person and say, hey, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's the mindset we got to have when we see our people, our day ones making moves. We can't be that crab bucket mentality. Can't be that crab bucket mentality. And we got to get out of the mentality that, oh, those people are just trying to, they're all about money or they're all about status or and it's just like, yo, that's the furthest thing. If you really knew me, if you really knew us, if you really knew how we get down Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. accountability, Sunday coaching calls, in-person master. I mean, if people really knew again. So if you're someone in that situation and you're kind of in that middle point in the road, just know it's okay to have day ones and day twos. It's okay to have your inner circle for family and friends and inner circle for business, and just be clear with who you are when you are. So if it's
yeah.
family time, you with
Yeah.
your family, you straight. But if
Yeah.
you're in your bag and you're doing your thing, like don't take it personal that you can't be with your inner circle with your family, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've been learning a lot. We've been learning a
Yeah.
lot, man.
Yeah. It's dope, man. I mean, truly, like it is balance. Like it is balance. Like all those things we're talking about, building the business without losing the relationships, yourself, and your faith. And you've probably seen it, man. I think I saw a post or heard it on a podcast, whatever it was, and it's so real because, and I wrote it. We'll talk about it when we do our summit. Was I just wrote the question, who asked you? Who asked you? So when we're talking about ourselves in this growth and this journey to get up, to grind, to grow, to do all these things, to take on personally, to take on 2 degree plans at one time, my master's and now my associates for the Christian ministry, to take on helping with planning a conference, to take on with planning assisting with planning our own online summit, to still be doing my real estate efforts, my coaching company, still doing the dad life, still maintaining. Who asked you to do that? Like it's a real question. It's not a competition, but it's a real question because when you're growing like that, you have to remain aware. You have to remain cognitive of what this means. And we can be saying, I'm doing this for everybody else. I'm doing this for family. I'm doing this for my why. That's the pretty much the consensus. Like we all have a why. We all get that fuel, that intrinsic fuel that's going to push us to do so much. But at the end of the day, and I like that you mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to jump on it, that you talked to Danielle about it, like what it's going to look like, what the plan was. Just remember, if you're grinding and you're growing and you're doing everything you can, just remember nobody else asked you to do that. And you have to keep that in the forefront because it does require a lot. To whom much is given, much is required. But you also have to be aware of the people that you're doing it for and the ones that are closest to you. They did not ask you to do that. Whatever calling you had on your life, whatever fuel you have inside of you, as much as you want for them, sometimes they just want you. So you have to have those conversations so that you don't lose yourself in growing the business. You don't lose yourself. You don't lose your business by just 1,000% of your energy just going into relationship. 1,000% of your energy is going into faith. And I'm not saying, hey, God deserves your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole soul. But your day ones have that. They have that problem that you don't have time for them because of what you're actually doing. And they still feel like they're close to you because they're still in that position they were when you met them on day one. They haven't progressed in life. So the mentality is still, yo, what's up? We gonna chill? We gonna hang out? What we
Friday
doing? You
night
gonna
kicking
call?
in
We
the
gonna
garage. Friday
hey,
night kickers
yeah.
in the garage, play some
So
cards. And again, I'm
yeah,
not
so
knocking that at all, but that's not the priority.
it's
You
not.
know what I'm
It's not.
saying? It's not the
And
priority. And
yeah. Yeah,
no,
so
that's facts, bro. That's
there's a
facts.
lot of that. Like that's just that self check. That's that accountability with yourself internally. Just ask yourself, who asked me to do this? It's not that you're wrong. It's to keep it into perspective. Who
Facts.
asked me? Who asked you? And if they didn't ask you, make sure that you clarify with them, you conversate with them, you communicate with them why you're moving, what your vision is, what your journey is, what your path is.
Uh-oh.
And if they
Uh-oh.
your real ones,
Uh-oh. Come on.
they gonna continue. But
Hey, and this
what you uh-oh.
no, I'm because look, everything that we talked about, like having these conversations and being mindful of the day ones and mixing the day ones and the day twos, everything is EQ, fam. I'm telling you, everything is emotional intelligence. When you develop that EQ to have the awareness, to be able to have the social skills, be able to self-regulate, self-manage, when you are able to have and develop the capacity to let go and to lean forward and lean in all the different ways that we do, it's a game changer. And that's why I love EQ. That's why, again, moving into this new year, I'm in that space. Thank you to you. And because of what Anthony Flynn shared with you, sell them what they want, give them what they need. Sell them what they want, give them what they need. So I've learned, like, oh, after talking to CJ, after talking to, the team, is like, oh, okay, mental health is what people want. That's what they're looking for, people in that space who got experience, who could reach different audiences. And because of my 20 plus years in mental health, because of my experience with young people, with adults, because of my EQ, SEL background, now it's all coming together. So that's getting my foot in the door. And I'm going to give them the tools and the strategies and the basic training on that. And then we got the assessment. That's a whole nother piece of it. But then I'm also, especially in my faith-based spaces, I'm making all the connections to the faith. And so I'm selling what they want, but I'm giving what they
Giving them
need.
what they need.
Giving them what they need. So here's a question, bro, for us. Shout out to, again, Melissa Thomas. So the question is, so what total results / deliverables do you want to come away with at the end of the mastermind journey in March 2024? I'm gonna let you go first, Ray.
Deliverables? I don't know if there's a clear set deliverable and a result, man. Like we said, this is truly a journey. And that's just another, I don't even say an exit, but that's just another, like you go and one highway is, it's like over here, like we got Highway 195, and then at a certain point it actually turns into I-35, like a major highway. I think the mastermind is just another on-ramp. Like the moment it ends, it's another on-ramp. Physical deliverables, sis, we will talk when we're in Atlanta, but our sister, Melissa Thomas, hey, I'm going to give her a shout out. She's always showing the support. She's growing. She's doing her thing. She is a certified publisher and author. And one of the things our sister Melissa is going to be doing, she's going to be producing a product for our listeners to actually obtain at the end of this 52-week journey. So that's one of the actual physical deliverables. But as far as deliverables itself, it's just continuing to, just like I'm looking at and referred to and reflected on me speaking at the Make Real Estate Real conference last year in 2022. That was Ray on stage, but the Ray that's going to be on stage this year is a completely different person with completely different lessons, completely different blessings, and everything. So at the end, when we get March of 2024, when I look back and I'm like, okay, I remember that moment that I said yes to this mastermind, that I talked to Ryan and Danielle. I was like, yo, I hope y'all say yes too. And look at that and just be like, I'm already in awe. I'm already in awe of what's occurred, everything that's happened. So in that moment, in that time frame, yeah, we're just a little way over halfway through, but so much more to come. Measurables, results, whatever, total results, whatever it is, it's just sis, if I can just say it, more of me, more from me, more for me, all those things for March of 2024, more. Right, it's on to you.
Yeah, yes. I'm gonna give you something a little bit more tangible, because again, as I'm thinking
Somebody
about this,
has
and
to.
I agree with Ray. I agree with Ray. This is just the beginning. This is just like a springboard into the next chapter. So a couple things at the end of March 2024. I want to go from where I am currently. We have that surviving, striving, thriving model. I want to be in thriving, or right at thriving. On a tangible level, I'm talking 10 to 20K a month at least, through the all the different opportunities that I have. And even with Danielle, like, we want to be there. Those are the goals we set by the end of this mastermind, so that when this mastermind does come up again, like, being a part of it is not going to be a problem. Number one. So in terms of my business, so in terms of like all the things that I'm setting up now, so the goal for 2024 as a whole is to have cohorts for the Reach Academy in Q1 and Q3, which will leave Q2 and Q4 open for more speaking opportunities, because that makes the lead generation happen. So if I can so the plan is to have a well-oiled machine that allows me to have the cohort in Q1 and Q3, twice a year, just to start for next year. Have the systems in place to kind of nurture the ecosystem. And every Q2 and Q4, every off season of the cohort, I'm speaking, I'm training, I'm still doing all that I'm doing, but we're also creating the Reach agency, the Reach Alliance, so that we can develop and bring more speakers and facilitators that want to get in the space. And then we'll start sharing the business, and we'll start getting more on that. Okay, I got work here. Who do I got? I got work here. Who do I got? Again, they have to just be part of the ecosystem. They have to be a good fit. The 4 C's, right? Competency, chemistry, character. And what was the last C, right? Anthony Flynn said competency, character, chemistry, and there was another C. It'll come to me, but
Consistency?
I have my notes. If you know it, drop it in the chat. So for me, Melissa, just to keep it plain and simple, those would be just kind of the two KPIs, and that's what I think Ray was asserting to earlier. Was like, yo, what are the KPIs by March 2024? So there is an income amount that we want to have. There is a level of freedom that comes with that income amount. And then there is a system of something that we are doing that is pouring into others because of the systems that we're building now. And again, that's just the speaking side and some of the coaching side of what we want to do for 2024. But by end of March, that will already be a well-oiled machine. Will be done with cohort 1 of Reach Academy. And now we're going to go into an open season of speaking, because in my industry, summer times is a great time to do the speaking. But Danielle and I also want to prioritize our traveling. So yeah, in terms of tangibles, having those systems, having a staff, having 2 cohorts set up for the year, and then also just continuing the booking system, the CRM, and of course the R2R podcast. Getting
Oh,
sponsored,
that
full
that's
sponsorship,
yeah,
y'all. That's
that's
for
gonna
us.
be
We want a full sponsorship. March 2024. We should have a Patreon by then. I'm thinking that's what me and Ray's goals. We want to like be able to record live together like S2S does. You know what I'm saying? Fly out to each other. One in Greenville, one in Texas. But hopefully that answered your question, Melissa. But at the end of the day, and again, that all comes with the different products, workbooks. Within those programs that I'm offering are coming all the different levels of digital courses, live courses, workbooks, and all the things that go with that.
dope. Hey, thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
providing something tangible for her. I'm like, yeah, more. But yeah, if I could just piggyback, yo, ditto. Yeah, I mean, I just think the continuation of the growth and where I'm at this point in time, yo, like there's vision of growth and I know what I will provide, but how it's going to look at that point in time is just, like, hey, can't even tell you. But Dan has a question. He's Facebook user. Eventually, Dan, you're gonna have to click that whatever eCam link so that we can see your name. But I don't know if you want to bring that one up. But yeah, there we go. And he's just
Shout out to
after all the back
LDH. Hold on, let's take a pause.
pause.
LDH pause. You know what I'm saying? Drop it out for LDH pause. Hey, LDH, you got to make that a shirt, a website. You got to coin that thing because I use it all the time. Because shout out to LDH, who's with his brother David on this earth. So here we go. Let's see. After all the back end work, becoming who God has been wanting to become, and then you start to receive blessings and things that you've prayed for and it come to fruition. How I can't read it, bro, because it's
How do you maintain being stuck in the old life, knowing this new life is about to unfold?
Ooh, that's a good one. You want to go
You
first?
want me to jump on it? Yeah. Well, first off, hey, you've always been who God calls you to be. It's just a matter of you stepping into your purpose and honestly believing and giving Him that glory. But the biggest piece, man, is, hey, we just talked about this one. We don't even talk about people, but we can talk about day one actions and activities and habits that don't suit the day two you. So when you said, hey, how do you maintain patience being stuck in the old life? One, take a category of those things that you're saying that you're feeling stuck in. Then why are you stuck in those things? And understand that there's always going to be an area where there's typically a transition. The transition of anything is always the hardest. LD, bro, hey, remember when we did those videos, man, I was jumping ropes because you was hitting the bag, and I was like, footwork, let's skip this rope. The hardest piece is the transition when you're skipping up, when you're mixing up your rhythm, when you're working out in the gym. The hard part isn't to bring it down and drop it onto your chest, or if you're doing squats and you're breaking the plane, whatever it is. It's not the transition. It's not the drop that happens. It's the transition. It's from going down to going back up. That piece in between, whatever it is, leaving an old relationship, going into a new one, leaving an old job, going into a new one, whatever it is, an old environment going. The hardest part is the transition. So are you resisting this new lifestyle? Is it uncomfortable for you? And are you still kind of holding back onto the old things because you are getting those blessings, you are receiving them? And I was just, Rhy, we were talking about it the other day when we were on FaceTime, and I was like, sometimes we get stuck as people, as believers, whatever area you want to be in, and we say, in whatever area it is, we'll say, God, why me? What did I do to deserve this? If it's too good to be true, you're like, God, I don't know what I did, but God, I don't know why you chose me, but what did I do to deserve all this? But if it's something where we're in that valley and we just don't like it, and it's uncomfortable, and something happened and we're looking at it as it happened to us instead of it happened for us, you're like, God, why me? What did I do to deserve this? It's your perception. It's your perspective. What are you looking at? What are you doing? If you're moving into an area where those blessings are happening, accept those blessings. Accept them, embrace them, and walk in them. And let go of those things that are no longer serving you. If that's old life stuff and that's old life mentality, don't do it.
And that's it. And that's, I just want to jump on that same thing that Ray was saying, because just if I read your original statement here at the very bottom, it says, how do you maintain patience being stuck in the old life, knowing this new life is about to unfold? Well, check it out. You said knowing. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know well the plans that I have for you. Come on. So if you know it's coming, it's kind of like for those who get paid direct deposit, or those who got a big check coming because now it might not be for another week or two, but you know it's coming. So the mindset is, oh, it's coming. So I could make this work while I'm here. So for me, when I look at that, it's like, how do you maintain patience? For me, when you know something is coming, when you know the new life is coming, bro, it's like, just for me, it's more of a mindset shift, because maybe the old mindset was it never came. Or like we always would, like one of my mentors would tell me, no matter how bad you think you got it, someone else got it worse. Just imagine what it's like to be a person who doesn't even know that it's coming. Imagine being in a situation where you're stuck and you don't have any support, principles, lifelines, or at least you don't feel like there are any, although because we know there are, right? But I think when you said that statement, it was like, how do you maintain patience? It's like, you know what's coming. So operate operate in the after. I'm gonna say that. Operate in the after, meaning after it comes, operate as if it's already there. Operate with abundance. When you can operate knowing that you already are going to have the abundance or have the blessing and have the peace and have the freedom, operate like that now. Get ready for it now. So when it comes, it's like you're just gonna keep it moving. Keep it moving. Now, you said the second piece here, bro, was like you said, how do you know whether it's struggling or
That was
resisting?
that's Christina.
Oh, my bad. See,
Real quick though, yeah. No, we'll get to that in a second. But
okay, my bad. It's just
that
Facebook use,
piece,
so I thought it was the same person.
the context, Dan, like right there, like in the beginning, you said God has been wanting you to become, like you're becoming who God wants you to become. So one, you're a man of faith. At the bottom, you're like, how do you maintain patience? Okay, patience is what requires your faith. If you know it's happening, if I know, it doesn't require faith to know that this phone is in my hand. That's the thing that a lot of us miss, is that the faith is built is in the waiting. That's where it's at. Like, it's in the waiting. It's not when it's happening, it's in the waiting. So if you know it's coming, you said he's been wanting you to become, the faith happens and it builds in the waiting. You have to nest and rest within that. Wait. Just wait patiently. But waiting is in the biblical tense, in the Hebrew, like, it is not a passive thing. Like Rhy said, it's an act. It's an action. So while you're waiting for that thing, you need to be actively doing the things that this new life is called for you. So like you said, act. So when you're waiting for it, that's the action. It's not a passive sit down, sitting on your hands. It's an action. It's an active posture. Move like it's already happened. Move, speak, do the things that it's already happened. LDH, get it. A. It's not why me, it's why not me. And just lavish in his love like that. That's one of those things. But yeah, so
He would always say it too, right? Like, work while you wait. Work while you
yeah,
wait. If you need
yeah.
examples, like again, being a believer, you need examples. Just go to Abraham. You want to talk about waiting? My man was go through just trying to have his own son. How many years did he have to wait? But he knew he was faithful. So stay faithful. 1 Corinthians 10:13, one of my favorite power verses. God is faithful. He will never test you beyond your strengths. He will find a way out. All you gotta do is hold on. All you gotta do is hold on. So yeah, man, we definitely gonna keep you in our prayers. Thank you for sharing that question. And then I see here again, how do you know if this is resisting or just struggling? This was from
Christina.
who was it, Ray?
Christina?
Okay, Christina. Yeah. So you want to
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah.
jump on that?
From I believe Tennessee. I don't know.
Tennessee. She signed up
From
for the summit. She signed up for the summit.
Okay. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I thought you brought that up. How do you know if you're resisting or just struggling? Well, one, resisting is an active thing that you are doing. Struggling is you are facing resistance. So, is something happening and you're trying to avoid it and you are resisting it? Or is there actively a test going on in your life? Sometimes when we don't look at the test as something, Rhy just mentioned, beyond my strength, he's not going to give you something that you can't handle. But, the testing of your strength, all that stuff, those things, the resistance, you will have suffering in this life. Count it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, facing trials of many kinds, because it is in the testing of your faith that you shall build endurance. And endurance shall outlast all things. So if you're resisting, if something is happening in your life and you see that you're actively trying to avoid it, that is you resisting it. If change is coming your way, and we've talked about it before, remember what you prayed for, prepare for what you prayed for, and expect what you prayed for. If you prayed for something, but it's not looking the way it's like you want it to look, I asked for this house. And now I'm driving about 3 hours every day because I got my daughter in private school, 40 minutes away, at the same place that I'm going to my church leadership college every Monday night. It is. I don't want to use that word struggle, but it is a test to do that daily. But I'm not resisting it. I could, mentally, sometimes I think about it and I want to resist it. I'm like, yo, one we talked about a little while ago, should I do this other degree plan that requires some internship time when I'm already in my master's and I'm already doing other things? Two, I don't like where the public school system's going. So I withdrew my daughter and put her over there. But that's a 40-minute drive each way. That may seem minor, but I was resisting that. Like I wasn't resisting mentally like I could have. If I didn't do it, I would have been resisting. But it's led to so much more already. Earlier in the year when I decided to partner with the Make Real Estate Real team to be a lender for them, that was a financial commitment that led me to struggle a little bit financially, but it's so that I can allow me to help other people. But it's led to me having these other opportunities and just working in a completely different capacity as a person, just operating completely in faith. So what are you specifically, if it's actively you trying to avoid conversations, engagements, whatever, I don't know what it is you're talking about, but if it's you avoiding something or not wanting to deal with something or not talk it out with somebody, you're resisting it. If it's a struggle and you're trying to work through it and you just keep running into a little bit of roadblocks, delays, speed bumps, however you want to call it, some obstacles, it's okay to struggle a little bit. That's where most of the strength is grown. Rhy on that last rep. LD on that last rep. Dari on that last rep. That last rep, that's where you got those. Yeah, if you squatting, you got them Bambi legs, and when you benching, you got all this, and you like, yo, is this about to drop on my neck? Is my spotter even paying attention to me? Or hey, I didn't even ask for a spotter. Like that's a struggle, but it's okay because at the end of it, that's where most of the strength is gained. That's where most of the growth happens.
In the waiting.
So, in the way. Nah, I'm not trying to wait right here, man. We trying to get that one done. That's why I don't clip my bars, because I don't like to talk to people in the gym, so I don't clip them. Yeah, I'm gonna be that person. If it gets heavy, I'm dumping it. I'm going. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go.
I'm gonna give just the most I'm gonna Ray gave a dope analogy and again explanation, so I'm gonna keep mine a little bit more on the simpler side. Resistance or struggling. If you have the capacity to reach out to those closest to you, at least 5, and just ask them. Tell them your situation, and if you can listen objectively, and you have the capacity to listen to the truth, people will tell you. Like I go to Danielle and I tell her what's going on with me. She be like, what, she'll clear it up real quick because she's always around me. She knows. And as much as I don't want to believe her, or I don't want it to be what she's thinking or what she's saying, I'm like, you know what? That's because she comes, again, objectively, because she's a high pilot, so she's high air traffic. That's just it's all facts, right? So I would definitely, if you are someone that struggles with, if it's this or that, go to the people that you trust and people that you're close with, share with them the whole story, and just be willing to listen to what they have to share. And I would even encourage listening without you even asking more questions or giving more feedback. Like just listen for the answer, thank them for that, and just sit with it. And then in your own discernment and in your own processes, then you could figure out, weigh it out and kind of go through that. But sometimes hearing it from other people who know you, who care for you, or who are around you, who can speak to it on a different level, are going to have even more perspective to share with you. Again, they're just sharing their perspective from what they see, because our reality isn't always the reality. I'm just going to keep it real. Like what we're feeling in our world isn't always their world. And so that struggle or that resistance, it's going to have a different perspective. So I would definitely reach out to someone you trust, a handful of folks, share the same exact story, the same scenario, break it down, and then just listen to what they have to say, take it in, and then from there make a, informed decision, get your discernment on however you process things. But yeah, that would be my thought there. So let's see, we got one more question, Dariana. All right, and then we're gonna get this. We're gonna wrap this one up, make an announcement about the summit that is coming up. But Dariana, thank you for rocking with us. I believe Dariana's on the R2R list. How long or how far out or how long do y'all take to consider the risk, process, or result before making a decision to take on a new project, partnership, etc.? That's a good one.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, this is truly part of the assessment. Hey, know your personality style for one. Like when you talk about how long, because there is no specific time frame. Some people will say, okay, hey, wait at least 24 hours before you make a decision on something. So let the excitement of the moment or the energy, whatever it is, die down before you jump into making that decision. But also you need to understand that when you're looking at considering the risk, some of us are risk adverse. Some of us are very risk tolerant. I am very risk tolerant. So how I will make a decision when it comes to risk is not the same as somebody else. Right there, LDH said, as soon as I weigh it, it is done, one way or another. One way or the other. Now, I don't know if he's talking about the weights earlier because he's the one that said dump it. He said as soon as I weigh it, he made the decision that as soon as this comes up, and if it's not going up anymore, the risk does not outweigh the reward, so we dumping it. It's done. I don't think that's what he meant, but I think he said as soon as he weighs the risks versus the results, the risk versus the reward, the decision's made. Yep. Part of that comes with clarity of knowing why you're even in the position to analyze and assess risk versus reward, the results, whatever you're trying to do. If it doesn't fit with what you're doing, if you're not in alignment, if the decision is not in alignment with where you're trying to go, then yeah, you should already know. If this does not move the needle, if this does not move you in the direction where your vision is taking you, then why are we making this decision? Does this new project or partnership one, that's a whole different conversation. Y'all got to figure out, okay, because again, there's vision involved.
So Mike, think of Mike. Tell her not too long. I want her to be on my team. LOL.
Yeah. Yeah. So the partnership, whatever it is, like the vision has to be in some sort of alignment, because they may be thinking 3 years out and you're thinking 15, and they're like, I'm out in 3. And I'm only saying that because I was just in a JV company that I backed myself out of graciously recently, because what we spoke about in the beginning and what the plan was, it doesn't seem like that's where they want that to go. So I was like, yo, I'm out. Yeah. Yo, graciously, not disrespectfully, nothing like that. I'm like, yo, they want it. I don't. I'm like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship with y'all for the next 30 years. I don't have that intention. I don't. So we're out. And LD, I assumed there was a ladder. I just had to go through that.
And I know for me, so I'm just going to speak for myself. So now I've come with like a general, so basic decisions. I give myself like, especially like, I'll be at the mall. I see the new J's come out. I got to give myself 48 to 72 hours. Like that's just a given. I'm going to see some 48 to 72. And if I'm still feeling the same way, it doesn't mean I buy it. It means that I'm going to talk to Danielle next. Number 2. That's just how I'll roll. But at least there's
don't lie. That's a conscious effort to formulate a plan to present to Danielle.
Emotions, bruh. Emotions. She laughing. She knows emotions. I'm not as impulsive as I used to be because of the assessment, number 1. And number 2, I start, so like depending on now if it's a bigger decision, obviously it might take a little bit longer, but I'm always going to seek wise counsel from myself. Because again, it's not just about me. Like this mastermind, it takes a while. Now, here's the crazy part. I might give myself that 48 to 72 hour window. But if I present it to Danielle and she's like, do it right away, like, oh, we in there like swimwear, like, let's go. Like if she want to move on it faster than me because she sees that it needs to be done or that it's worth the risk or worth the investment, kind of like when, I did the EE extreme execution. Like she was like, you only got 48 hours. You might as well just do it. And then the upgrade came for, the bonus day. You might as well just add that on. In my mind, I'm still like, oh, is this going to work? Is this going to be okay? But she was like, no, just go, just do it. Right? Phenomenal Life 2022. If this is what you really want, then let's figure it out. Like, so for me, I would just say day-to-day stuff, things that, and I love what LD said.
So like, glad y'all decided.
Yeah, once he weighs it in, it's a decision, it's done. He moves on, make or miss, right? Like I'm in that same space now, but I would just say knowing your personality style, because you don't want to be an overthinker as an ATC. Sometimes you don't want to move too fast as a pilot, because then things get messed up. But then you don't want to get too emotional, right? As a flight attendant or as a grounds crew, guilty. So all that says, like, hold on, see what she's talking. What is she talking about? He talks to me however he is. Look,
Hey,
keyword,
hold on.
y'all.
Talk to
Keyword.
me real quick. Talk to me real quick about you said Phenomenal Life 2022.
So for not like
What was the back and
the
forth on
deal
that one?
was, hey babe, you know what? There's gonna be this thing in Mexico. I know we love going to resorts. We love to travel. How about we do like a 2-for-1? You know, we travel and we get to go to the conference. And so it became a Father's Day, birthday, Christmas gift comp. It was like all of the things all in one. And she said, okay, we'll make it happen. But this is your X, Y, and Z gift for. And I said, cool, I'm with it. But look what she said here, though. Right? Take this in. She said, he talks to me, however, he already has it made up in his mind. All right. So in my mind, it's made up, but not out the bank account. Okay. That's a difference. The old me would have been like, he tells me about it, but he already bought it. Right. Or he already paid for it, which is the difference now.
Emotionally, he's already bought it.
Exactly. So in my mind, but guess who takes me out of my mind? My beautiful wife. All right.
Hey,
So
but I just
again,
want so Dari, and I wanted to ask that specifically why, because Dari, check it out. So a decision had to be made. He has someone to bounce off. Obviously, is his his head coach, the CEO of the relationship, the pilot,
the
my
real
sister,
boss, the real boss.
the real boss in the building. If he had not presented it and she had not approved it, we would not be having this conversation right now. And Danielle, I don't know how much of an impact I had on it, but would you have committed to the mastermind without reaching out to me? You can
Oh,
drop
that's
a
a good
wire
question.
and in the chat.
That's a
Just
good
because you had
question.
someone to reach out. So we would have never, I mean, we probably would have met somewhere else, but I don't think there would have been any type of relationship that would have been handled with a comfortability with to reach out and have a conversation with each other.
And let's give context. Let's give context. So when we had the first UOU summit and it was all about the mastermind, we saw Ray in one of the Zooms and Danielle was like, oh, Ray's doing it? And I was like, I think so, maybe. And so she hit you up right away and was like, how much how much it costs or whatever, all the financial questions. And you're like, I don't know. I just got to flip some houses and get this done. Like there was no hesitation. I think you're like, I'm not sure how much it costs, but I just got to get in, put my 3,000 down, and I got to figure out how I'm going to make this happen. Right. And again, but I think that was also, yeah, like you said, a point of, saying, okay, there's other people. Let's see what the rest of the people we know. I had to just shout this out though. LDH, that's funny. It processed in my mind. He's like, but you had to process the payment. Danielle, I love it. That's true. Hey, all my money goes to her. No, I keep it easy. Keep it simple in my household here. She says, it was how Rye approached me. I'm not sure what that means. If you want to come on camera. No, I'm just kidding, babe. Just playing. Sell the important parts. Dariana. Yeah, again, y'all, I think that's something that decision making is never, well, I'm not gonna say never. Decision making is definitely a process, but once you figure out your process, let's just keep it at that. Ray has his process of decision making. I have my process of decision making. We all are gonna have our. So once you find that one that's healthy, that's moving the needle, that is not a hard conversation for you to have. Like I said in previous podcasts, like if there's something that I want or I'm looking at, I don't, try to like sugarcoat it and try to like sweet talk Danielle because it's not gonna work anymore. I just be like, hey, this is what I'm looking at. Is this possible? If so, how long will it take? What do you think?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I leave it there.
Yeah.
I say, I don't need an answer now. Just let me know. And then that's when she gets to doing what she does. She starts crunching the numbers, making a plan, doing all of that. And then she'll say yes or not right now or here's when.
Yes or nah?
Yeah.
Nah. But the biggest piece for that, Dari, is know why you're making the decision. Like, know why you're making the decision. Is it taking you where you want to go? Not emotionally, but you have a plan, you have a vision, you've written the vision, you've made it plain, you've seen it, and you have to make the decision so that you can run to it. Is that why you're making the decision? If it's a decision just for random stuff, I mean, don't overcomplicate whether you want vanilla or chocolate. Right? I mean, we get that. But for those things, know why you're doing it. And if this is a decision that's going to get you closer to what your vision is, absolutely. Make it. Like LD said, weigh it. And if you weigh it and it weighs in favor of your vision and what you find your purpose to be, do it. Don't overthink that. If the answer is yes, make the decision. If it's I don't know, talk to somebody. If it's no, move on with your life. But
I love it.
we gonna have to cut this because I've got a
Yeah.
closing here in an hour and a half.
Yes,
Gotta
sir.
go get
Yes,
this-
sir. Look
gotta
at
go get this
Danielle.
check.
She must be sitting on the couch. How you approach me when I was on the rocking chair outside. We were on the rocking chair outside, right? And then she's like, okay, how much is it? 4,000? Because that was the cost of extreme execution, and even I think 3,000 for game changers. And I was
And you
like,
said, it's a couple dollars. It's a couple.
I remember that conversation. But listen, fam, first and foremost, we thank you again for all of you who are rocking with us. It is definitely our day twos. Y'all are our day twos because we want to be intentional with all that we do for you and with you, and most importantly, so that we can have that mutual relationship, so we can figure out how we can grow together. And so Ray and I, we are hosting, if you haven't seen it already, we are hosting the R2R Summit. Yes, it is a free virtual summit going down October 18th and 19th, 2 hours each day. Not Road to Results Summit, but this is the Reset to Relaunch. Yes, Reset to Relaunch Summit. I put the directions, how to get the registration links. There are 2 registration links, one for each day. Just text R2R to the number 864-721-6980, and you will definitely get the info. So what are we planning to do for the Reset to Relaunch? Day 1, reset the mindset. I'm going to be doing some teaching on EQ. Ray's going to share some principles, and then we have our boy Rob Hokog, who's going to be joining us, our other brother, who's definitely going to bring his perspective on reset and then relaunch. Day 2 will be all about, all right, what are we going to do to continue to build this momentum? And as you see, Ray and I are in this building momentum phase, but we also want to show how important it is to reset and how to get that relaunching. So let's not even worry about where we were and where let's build that momentum going, breaking through into 2024. So text R2R. And yes, Janine, we're going to put those links in the Facebook because I know that you can't text the number. Thank you for sharing that in the group, but I will be sure to get you those links as well. Again, it has been a pleasure to be with you all. Episode number 27, and we are still dropping every Tuesday. So our episode is going to be coming out every Tuesday. And any final last words, Ray, before we dip out?
Well, first thing, if Amazon Prime is on time as they should be, tomorrow will be looking crispy because that lens is finally coming in. I finally ordered it. But the other thing, the summit, the whole idea, Ryan and I were talking about, one, there's multiple reasons, but hey, we're heading into fourth. We're not heading. We are in fourth quarter, and sometimes I know people will be like, it's already October. We might as well just wait until January. No, because then at that point it's a fad. It's everybody else is kind of everybody else is doing it, so now you're just doing it with other people. Start making the decisions, Dari. Start creating the movement. Make steps. Pick up movement that turns into momentum, so that way when January hits, hey, this is just a habit. This is what we're doing. This is not what I'm trying. This is what we're doing. We want to move in it with purpose. Get warmed up. Right. Hey, Kobe would come to the game. He would get warmed up for the game. How much? Before practice, he would hours before. Not 30 minutes, not 45 minutes, not an hour before. Hours. Let's do the stuff necessary now. Create the habits. It's okay. Hey, just look back what did not work. Ryan says it all the time. I look back so that I can move forward. What did not work? What relationships? What actions? What principles were not working for me that we need to make some adjustments so that when we start 2024, we've already got that momentum going. We've already got that sweat. We're already ready. We're already warmed up.
That's it. And I'm breaking down EQ. Just some key EQ, especially going into the holidays, right? Because of uncovering the mindset journey, there's mindset, there's EQ, and then there's actionable steps, y'all. Actionable steps. And we're going to make sure that we are sharing with you not only what we are doing and what we are receiving, but we want to pour it back out to all those. So please share the link. Again, we are just wanting to give as many people the opportunity to build momentum. All right, so that we can go into 2024 like we've been doing this. Not like we just started doing this. Like, no, we've been doing this. So anyways, as always, like we say, don't just go with us.
Grow with us.
Let's
eventually
go,
we'll get
y'all.
it right. Bro, we was in sync with like 2 different things earlier, and we didn't even try this. Hey, we can't get that. So, and we'll make it. It's just gonna be it'll just be a laughable moment for Danielle at the end of this day. But love y'all. Hey, we will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow. Was it noon Eastern?
We're looking at noon Eastern for episode 28. All right, hey, we get whatever that emoji is from my wife. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. Till next time. You know, hey, I love what LDH says. If the Lord spares life, come on. We'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.